What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Season 7 Finals. I am your host, Justin Kruger, community developer on Rainbow Six Siege, and we are about to reveal Operation Parabellum, Year 3, Season 2 operation that takes place in Italy. This crowd is hyped to hear all the information that is coming in Season 2, and to help me break this down, please keep that excitement going for my amazing panelists, Jeremy Dowsett, level designer on Rainbow Six Siege, and Alexander Karpazis, presentation director on Rainbow Six Siege. Please give a big round of applause. Jeremy, how's it going, man?
I'm doing pretty good, buddy. How are you?
Doing great. You enjoying yourself at the finals?
I'm loving it. It's tense.
And this is the first time on a panel, as well as Alex. It's your first time, too. Alex, how are you?
I'm loving it. It's amazing. Yesterday, today, the matches are incredible.
The matches are incredible. This crowd has been incredible.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
we love you so much, and thank you to everybody tuning in on Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, across the board on all the streaming channels for Operation Parabellum. We're really excited to get into Operation Parabellum. Of course, coming with Operation Parabellum, we have 2 new defending operators and a new map villa. And let's start off with that new map villa. Jeremy, let's break it down. How would you describe Villa for the people?
Villa is the kind of place you'd want to go on vacation if you're in Italy. It's a beautiful, massive villa, vineyards, beautiful vistas. It's lovely.
It's picturesque. It's exactly what you would think a villa in the countryside of Italy would look like.
Exactly. It's just really pretty, and the art team did a really great job. But as per usual, with anything that's rainbow, there's a darker side to it. The family has been forging and selling art, and Alibi was there undercover a long time ago, and Rainbow's coming in to put a stop to it.
As always, there's a beautiful side. This map looks gorgeous, but there is chaos and destruction and a lot of things going on this map. How does it play?
The map plays really well balanced. When I went through and started designing this map, it was made to go ranked and to go pro straight away. So there was a lot of focus on navigation and flow and viability of the bomb sites.
And it is one of the most competitive maps. You built it this way. You worked on this from the ground up.
Yes.
Where did you start when designing this map?
I started with a pen and paper in 2D. I'd just go and look at the silhouette of the building and how it's going to look overall in just the world. And then I go through and start mocking out where I want to put corridors, rooms, and the flow from outside to inside. And I go through and I start mocking it up bit by bit, just on paper. And then I rough in the bomb sites, think about it, do a few iterations, and I go straight through and I just start building it, and then we start playing it straight away.
Right, so you start off with old school pen and paper. That's really old school, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm an old man, what do you want?
You've been designing levels in this industry for a very long time, and you always start off with that pen and paper. That's something that you design, and from that you iterate, you build it in 3D, you create different designs from it out of that, and then you create this flow, and you test this flow, and you make it competitive in a way that feels good as a game, as an experience.
It's iteration and learning as you go. You really need to just look at it, look at the angles, look where the doors are, look where the windows are, and look at the rotations that can possibly happen from the design. And that's one of the great things about being a level designer, is you can just go through, and if it doesn't work, you can just erase it and start again. And there's been a lot of different versions of this map. Very early on when we started playtests with the pros liked it, they loved it. They were like, okay, this is going to be a good map. There was one bomb site that wasn't really that viable, but I just went through and reworked it and actually just made it just that much better. It was a couple of days worth of work, and then all 4 bomb sites are viable, and it just go and keep going. If it doesn't work, start again.
So through these playtests, you tweak it, you work it, you rework it, you maybe change a few things, and they felt as though this was very competitive. You've been talking about how it's a competitive map. What makes it so competitive?
I believe the reason why it's so competitive is because of the viability of the bomb sites and the rotation possibilities on the bomb sites. And then when you add in the destruction of this map and how many walls are destructible, you can open up a bomb site, you can open up an avenue to attack, you can shut down avenues as defense. it takes a long time, but we went through it and we just got it perfect. And it's going ranked, so it's great.
Yeah, it's going in ranked, of course, and it is being considered for the upcoming Pro League as well, which is really exciting. So let's break down some of the strategy that is going to be seen or potentially seen on this new map, and let's start with the tactical view of the attackers and where they are going to spawn. So let's take a quick look at that. So here is the outside. You have 3 main entrances: the main entrance, the fountain, and the ruins, or 3 spawns.
You have 3 spawns. Main entrance you can go through, and this map's a little bit different. There's actually safe-ish entrances to the basement. So
Safe-ish.
Safe-ish. It's like nothing's safe in Rainbow, right?
Right, exactly.
So from the main entrance, you can go through the cellar into the basement. From ruins, you can go through the side and then go through to the crypt entrance, and same from the fountain. So you've got 3 really great spawn points and 3 really great avenues just to get to the building. And when you see it, it's easy to call out, and it's really nice, and the paths are really good and quite well balanced.
So you've been talking a lot about inside the building, so let's take a look inside the building. Let's go inside and break down the defenders' points with their bomb sites as well. And let's start off with the first floor, and let's take a look at the 2 bomb sites on the first floor. On the first floor, we do have kitchen, dining, and lounge library. Let's start off with that first bomb site, kitchen dining room. What's the strategy that we're going to be seeing on that, Jeremy?
Kitchen dining is really interesting because just at the back of the kitchen there's a set of stairs that go down through the pantry into the basement. So you've got a really fast rotate that allows you to go through basement, back up and out, and there's hatches as well. What's different with this map is we actually don't have any exterior access to any bomb site, so you always have to go through a room. You have to commit to the bomb site. You can't just jump through a window, plant, and run away.
Yeah, and as we're going to be seeing in this bird's eye overview, you are going to see a lot of buffer rooms. What's the design intention behind buffer rooms?
The reason for the buffer rooms is because we want the team to commit to the plant. We don't want them just to jump in and then go far back and hold their plant from a long distance. We want them to have to stick around and actually try and defend it. And that's the reason why we did it, just to make it way more viable and more competitive.
And when our earlier talks about this map, there was actually one of those entry points and became just way too easy to access the bomb site. But you guys changed that.
Oh no, we flat out changed it. Kitchen dining, it was a little bit too easy to get into the bomb site from the fountain. So we changed it, added a few different paths and a few more destructible walls, and just locked it down to make it way more viable than it actually was at that time. But that's the beauty of having the pros come in and actually have their feedback, and even high-ranked players come in and play.
Cool. So let's stay on the first floor here and take a look at the second bomb site, which is Lounge Library. Tell us a little bit about Lounge Library, Jeremy.
Lounge Library is super interesting, and you should see in that info. In the lounge, there's this little nook that you think is the best place to go and hide.
A little nook and cranny?
Little nook and cranny. But just behind if you don't reinforce the walls behind that nook, then you're just completely open for someone shooting through the wall. You have to remember that between the first floor and second floor, it's completely line of sight. Everything's destructible apart from the top of the stairs, so it's really easy to defend and attack a bomb site from above if you really want to.
So, and that line of sight floor is really going to become crucial for defending these, or even attacking these, because you can put pressure on the defenders from that site, as we've seen a lot on a map like Border that does have one of those line of sight floors. We saw that a lot this weekend, where people are pushing through that or even defending through that as well. It's
one of the great things to see the strategies that come out when the maps are actually released. And same thing when this comes out on the test server on Tuesday. I'm going to be really interested, and I'll be watching how people play it, and that line of sight floor is going to be key, especially if you're attacking these bomb sites.
Absolutely key. So that is a look at the first floor. Let's take a look at the second floor, and the 2 bomb sites that we have there are Aviator, Games, and Trophy Room, and Statue Room. Jeremy, let's break down this first bomb site here, which is the Aviator Room and the Games Room.
The Games Room and Aviator Room is really fun. The bomb sites are actually adjacent just through a breakable wall, but there's also a rotation path through a vault where you see the hammer on the wall.
Oh, that's where we see the Sledge's hammer in the beautiful case that you might have seen in the teasers or something like that.
It's up on the wall. The art guys love to just put stuff in the map.
There's a lot of Easter eggs I've noticed in this map.
There is a number of Easter eggs. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes the community to find them all, actually. But what's really interesting is the bomb sites are adjacent to each other with a breakable wall, and there's really fast rotates, and you're in close proximity to red stairs, and you're also in close proximity to the main stairs from the main entrance. So the opportunity for rotations on all of the bomb sites is brilliant.
And that's one of the main key aspects of this map is the rotations that are going to be really crucial. It brings in a lot of strategy as well.
It's going to be key for teams is communication and how they're going to rotate on and off of the sites. Even when you're attacking, how you're going to rotate. And there's so many viable options for rotations on this map, it's kind of mind-boggling.
And as we're seeing here, there's a lot of destructibility too.
Yeah, with the new auto shotgun, you can just take walls out. It's like you can just open up flank paths and just destroy. Italy gets destroyed on a daily basis when we're playing it, and it's really always interesting. And again, when I start building the map, I start with all of the walls being destroyable, and then I start taking them out to balance the sites and to balance the flow.
That's really interesting. And now you mentioned rotation, and let's take a look at the second bomb site on the second floor, which is trophy and statue. There's a really key part of this bomb site that I'll allow you to talk about.
Yeah, this one's really interesting. It's actually my favorite bomb site. It's because the bombs are across an alcove, across the red corridor. So basically, you can fight across the alcove, which is really interesting. You're super close to the astronomy room, which allows you to get downstairs to the main red corridor again. But you can always just vault over the railing straight into the red corridor. There's also a breakable wall at the end where you can break the wall and try and control the red corridor from above. But it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to achieve.
And we're taking a look at that alcove right now, or just a few moments ago. That becomes a really critical point of chaos and tension. But it also allows for strategy with the rotation as well. Even if you have a bomb site on the first floor, or maybe even especially if you have a bomb site on that first floor, and you're defending or attacking from that second floor, that's a quick way down to push the site.
It's super fast and it's quick for anyone to get through and rotate. Obviously, in the bedroom, there's a hatch you can blow as well. But there's also the other thing is there's the skylight, and if you're feeling brave, you can try and attack the bomb site from the skylight.
We saw a really good skylight play there in the last map. That was where
it was
the
amazing.
bomb rushed it. Yeah, it was just absolutely
amazing.
Incredible. So that is the first floor and the second floor broken down. Let's take a look at the basement. The basement is really crucial for many different reasons, especially because there's no bomb site there. But it comes into play. It really becomes a crucial point. Why is it so important?
It's really important because it's key for the rotations, because you've got the main stairs, the pantry stairs, the red stairs. This is where you're going to rotate through all of the time. That's also where you're going to enter from, because if you come through the crypt tunnel or you come through the cellar tunnel, you're coming through to those massive wine barrels that you're seeing on screen now, and you're entering through the barrels, and as soon as you blow that, you're giving away your position. But you can also just come through the garage, which you're not going to make any noise, it's just a door there. But what's really fun is you see the hatches in the ceiling, and you see all of the stairways and all the ways to go. So when you're defending kitchen dining, you're gonna rotate through this. When maybe if you're up in statue trophy, you need a quick rotate, you might end up coming back through and up around, and it allows for really good flanking paths.
So it's a really viable way for the attackers to push in, meaning that the defenders may have to have one roamer down in the basement, or even really just keep an eye on that, especially if they're on that first floor and they don't want to get pressured too early from the basement. That's going to be pretty key.
The map is roamer friendly, that's for sure.
Roamer friendly map.
But it's tense.
It's tense. Right?
I know the map like the back of my hand. I've been building it for 8-9 months now, and I'm surprised by the different ways that I get killed almost on a daily basis in this map.
Just different ways of getting killed, a lot of angles, a lot of destructibility. That is a really amazing map, and I cannot wait for players to get their hands on this map. And you'll be able to play Villa for the very first time on the test servers starting May 22nd, which is Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
It's so short.
So close.
I'm super excited.
Fans here are really excited.
I'm glad the fans like it. It's going to be so much fun.
They're finally going to be able to play your baby Villa.
It's released into the wild. Now I get nervous because I don't know, the Rainbow community is great and it's very polarizing. They're either going to love it or hate it. I always say it's like Marmite, you love or hate it. And I'm hoping the community really likes it because I had a lot of fun. The production team had a lot of fun building this. Hats off to the entire production team in Montreal because I think we pulled off a really great competitive map.
Awesome. Well, that is a look at Villa, but that is not everything that is coming in Operation Parabellum, of course. We also have our 2 new operators, Maestro and Alibi. They are defense operators. The crowd here is hyped to take a look at them for the very first time. And of course, Operation Chimera may have favored the attack side, but Operation Parabellum will favor the defense. Let's take a quick look at the UB blog video breaking down these 2 operators.
The new Villa map coming to Rainbow Six Siege in Operation Parabellum may look like a nice spot to relax. But attackers will need to be on high alert to deal with the devious gadgets that the 2 new defending operators from the Italian CTU are putting into play. One of the most important skills in Siege is spotting your enemies before they spot you. But what if your enemy wasn't your enemy? Say hello to Alibi, and Alibi, and Alibi, and Alibi. Only one of them is your opponent. The rest are holographic decoys. Alibi can throw her 3 decoys anywhere, but they'll only deploy if they have the space. They can't hurt you, but if you shoot them or touch them, your position will be compromised immediately, and you'll be marked repeatedly for the next few seconds, which is bad.
You're exposed.
Watch out for decoys pretending to spawn peek, and decoys pretending to hold angles. Watch out for decoys that used to be decoys but are now just Alibi, pretending to be a decoy. Doing any damage to the base of the decoy will destroy it, and as long as you don't shoot or touch the hologram while doing it, you won't be marked. Twitch is an especially good decoy hunter. Thatcher can disrupt them for a bit, and Glaz's sight won't be fooled. You can also keep an eye out for visual discrepancies. The decoy always wears Alibi's default clothing and wields her Storm SMG without any attachments. So if you see Alibi wielding the new ACS-12 shotgun, you'll know she's the real deal. So what happens if Alibi chucks a decoy outside? Well, like a defender who runs outside, the decoy gets marked. But marks are different when Alibi's in the match because they don't reveal the operator's identity. So a decoy deployed outside and a defender that runs outside will look the same unless the attacker can actually see them with their eyes. Though the decoy's mark expires after 10 seconds, that's 10 seconds with a lot of opportunity for mischief. And mischief just might be Alibi's most effective weapon. By making you doubt your own eyesight and second guess your own reflexes, Alibi gets in your head, and that's not where you want a defender to be.
5 seconds remaining.
Now, we all know how powerful cameras are in Siege. But the second new defender, Maestro, is equipped with cameras that are a new kind of powerful. Behold the evil eye. It's bulletproof. It can see through smoke. It shoots a frickin' laser beam. Maestro can plant his evil eyes on floors or walls just like Jaeger does with his ADS. And once installed, they're hard to get rid of. Bullets or melee hits won't work. You'll need to use explosives, or destroy the surface it's planted on, or call in your old pal Sledge for a quick demo job. Thatcher and Twitch can disable them temporarily, but as long as the shutter is closed, evil eyes are free to be used as cameras by anyone on the defending team. They can mark targets and they can see through smoke, so you'd better be sure there isn't one watching when you rappel in through a courtyard roof opening and try to plant the diffuser. But the evil eye doesn't just spectate. When Maestro is using one and aims down sights, the shutter will slide open to expose a laser. Once the shutter is completely open, Maestro can fire the laser to destroy drones, blow up breach charges, and damage attacking operators. A single shot may not do a lot of damage, but you can fire in rapid succession, and this can be very dangerous for an attacker with low health. Deploy in a good spot, and you can quickly land a bunch of shots before your enemy zeroes in on you, or you overheat the laser. When the shutter is open, the Evil Eye is vulnerable to gunfire and melee attacks. And remember that the laser won't interrupt a diffuser plan. It's up to Maestro and his LMG or ACS-12 shotgun to clear the room. If you seek dastardly new gadget strategies, prepare for Operation Parabellum. And to keep up with the latest in Rainbow Six Siege, visit us at news.ubisoft.com and subscribe to the Ubisoft YouTube channel.
Stop standing.
Thank you to Chris Waters for breaking down those operators and giving us a brief glimpse at the upcoming Operation Parabellum. Alex, I'd like to bring you in now. Please allow us to break down these operators a little bit further, a little bit more in detail.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because there's a lot to unpack in that video. And let's start off with Alibi. Who is Alibi? Let's get to know her.
Sure. Her personality is someone who's very stoic and reserved. Her background is she immigrated to Italy at a young age. Then she grew up, joined law enforcement, and succeeded there. She joined GIS and actually went undercover in operations for them. And that's really where she kind of learns her tricks of the trade, deception, manipulation, the mind games, and that translates right to the gameplay.
Yeah, and speaking of her gameplay, she has comes equipped with an amazing gadget.
Yes.
This is one of the most unique gadgets I've ever seen in Rainbow Six Siege, this holographic image of herself. How does she play?
Yeah, so she is a trickster, and she's a bit of a hybrid character where she roams, she places, they're called prismas. She gets 3 of these decoys to plant around. And then it's all about counterintelligence, pretending where you are when you're not actually there, or misleading the enemy team into thinking you're in many places at once.
And as we saw with Maestro, he is a true form of intelligence gathering.
That's right.
But Alibi kind of falls in this middle ground where she's not technically a trap operator, but she's not technically an intel operator, but she has these counter intel abilities.
Yeah, there's a duality to that. And also she can receive intel if you happen to shoot her decoy or drone through the decoy.
Or even throw it outside and to pretend to be your decoy, as we saw in that. I mean, those are really interesting strategies that we've seen in your playtest while designing this operator. What did you feel what was the vision behind it?
It was really about making the team second guess what you're doing at any given time. So we actually found that her decoy is hugely successful with beginner players and even expert players.
Yeah. And so that psychology, let's break that down a little bit further, because I think that's really important that we discuss that psychology a little bit. From the day one of Siege, we are taught to aim for the head, shoot, and have really lightning fast reactions, especially on a pro scene stage like this.
Yep.
Now we're asking players to change that a little bit, or maybe not change it, but second guess themselves.
And that's what's great about her. She introduces this kind of hesitation or doubt, and that means that Alibi can capitalize on that.
Capitalize on it and create different strategies like we're seeing here, where it was, we have that House of Mirrors strategy, which is just so much fun, where you can deploy all 3 alibis and kind of just like mess around with
have fun with that. It's
attackers.
Really annoying for an attacker to kind of pin down the right alibi.
What do you think is the best strategy you've seen with Alibi?
The House of Mirrors one is really great. There's also ways to synergize with her. So you plant a shield in front of her gadget to protect the base. Maybe people have to jump through to disable it and they fall into a frost trap, or there's a Capcan trap. There's a lot of ways to synergize with a different
So while
team.
she may not be a true trap operator, she has a lot of synergies with trap operators, and she has a lot of synergies with the whole team in general, because she does have that unique passive when she deploys a gadget outside of the defender's boundaries.
That's right. Actually, the passive is shared to the entire team, so anybody who runs outside of a map location won't be immediately identified. So you can pretend to be Alibi or actually throw her gadget out there, and it'll be an unidentified operator.
Yeah, so really making the defense have an opportunity to be aggressive.
Super aggressive. Yeah.
I mean, we may see plays where we haven't seen them before. May see strategies with the outside and the out-of-bounds areas becoming these more crucial areas.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Absolutely. Cool. So that is a quick look at Alibi, and as we see in these videos, she comes equipped with a crazy loadout, Alex.
Yep.
Please tell us a little bit about her loadout, because she is a roamer at heart as well. So break down the loadout for us.
So her signature weapon is a Storm SMG. So this is a high rate of fire, low damage, but fairly good accuracy, which means she's deadly in most distances.
And as we're seeing, she's 3 speed, 1 armor.
That's right. Yeah. So it helps her with mobility. It helps her set up before a match, place all of her gadgets, and start roaming and getting that intel on the team.
And what about her second primary?
She actually has, for the first time in the game, a shotgun pistol, which is hilarious and a lot of fun. And it actually synergizes well with her kit. You can make some peeking holes that you can set the gadget behind and kind of fool people into thinking she's peeking.
Yeah, and one thing that we should note here, that there are speed changes coming with Operation Bellum. So with the 3 speeds and the 1 speeds, there's a few things changing.
Right, so 3 speeds are going to be a little bit slower and 1 speeds are going to be a little bit faster. But if you do have a secondary pistol equipped, you will gain a little bit of a speed boost, which means you could see an Alibi with a shotgun pistol running at your face. It's going to be cool.
That's really scary. I'm a little frightened, including since she's going to have like 3 of herself around the map as well. So
it's going to be terrifying.
It's going to be a little bit terrifying. But to counter that terrifying aspect of Alibi, who would you say are her best counter picks?
Well, she does use a gadget, so you'll see there's IQ who can spot it out. When you have Twitch, you can destroy it easily with the Twitch drone, and even a Thatcher EMP will disable it temporarily. One of the hardest counters is Glaz, of course. He'll be able to see through any of the decoys, and only the real Alibi will light up.
Yeah, so if you do have, a Glass peeking or somebody on defense trying to rush out, you will have Glass as an advantage there, because that's a really aggressive move.
It is.
It would be hard to really pull that off. But also, as we're seeing with Thatcher, it temporarily disables the decoys, so it's not a full hard counter, but a little bit of a soft counter, just to know if she is doing that House of Mirrors
trick. Clears the room a bit.
Clears the room. What would you say is the best way to counter her?
Honestly, if you get a super aggressive Alibi who's kind of roaming and playing like a run out, Glaz is going to be able to shut that down immediately.
Yeah, shut her down. Obviously, see the outline of the true Alibi, and not get deceived.
Right.
Cool. So that is a look at Alibi, and now let's take a look at the Maestro.
I love him so much. Maestro is a very charismatic leader. He has a bit of history with Alibi. He joined the GIS. After that, he went solo and ran his own boot camp. So he's a natural leader, a natural teacher, and now he's with Rainbow Six. He's a great operator to kind of hunker down and protect a point.
And he just looks cool.
Man, this guy has so much charm. I'm jealous. I love it.
As we saw also, if you're following on Twitter, Gasam Milosh cosplayed as Maestro and nailed it. He just nailed it. It was really awesome. I'm excited to see more cosplay of Maestro out there. But let's get into his gameplay. How does he play?
Yeah, so his gadget is the Evil Eye, and he gets 2 of these. So these are turrets that he can place around the map.
And you can place them anywhere, or
just like Jaeger, you can put it on the floor, you can put it on the walls, and then you can use it as a camera. It can see through smoke, and it is bulletproof. But when you open up the visor, you can actually shoot some lasers.
Shoot some lasers, and those lasers only deal about 5 damage per shot.
It's
right?
low damage, and even though it's continuous, you can overheat it, so you can't just hold down and wait.
So there is a little bit of a balance to it.
Exactly, and when you're shooting the laser, it means that you can actually be destroyed by bullets.
Right.
So
it's a little bit of a high risk, high reward there.
Exactly.
If you are trying to stop that bomb plan or trying to just harass people,
Yeah.
or just shoot people in the butt like I do with Twitch, that is a possibility.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely. So he's sort of defined as a true anchor. What makes him an anchor?
Well, he gives a lot of intel on a plant site. So you want to be able to position both your cameras on both plant sites, or at least destroy enough so you get that vision and you can start giving that intel to your team.
And he has a few similarities to like an Echo, for example. He has that stopping power. He has that intel. Would you say he plays like an Echo, like a Smoke, or?
He's actually in that same family of being able to stall. So if you see a plant going down, essentially if an attacker walks into a room and sees the camera, they're going to have to take care of it. Otherwise, you know that Maestro's feeding information about what you're doing.
Feeding information, potentially even stopping that plant.
Yeah.
I think I've even seen some strategies where people will have 2 Maestro cameras set up and they'll just hop back and forth between
You
them.
can be so annoying with that. It's great.
So annoying. So he's even also can even fall into a harasser category as well.
Exactly, yeah.
In a similar way that Twitch can kind of do a variety of things, Maestro is going to be really crucial in various aspects.
Yeah, he has a lot of utility.
Yeah, especially if they are kind of pushing from the top side or defending from the top side on Villa as well. They can have a Maestro set up on the second floor or even in the basement. Just keep an eye on things.
Of course, Maestro actually plays really well in Villa. He plays really well in a lot of maps actually. Like I played with him an awful lot, and I played with Alibi an awful lot. But Maestro, yeah, in Maestro plus Villa,
It's fun.
That's a fun time.
Plus, the Italians are equipped with these just explosive power and brute force to destroy this entire this entire beautiful villa that you worked so hard on, Jeremy.
It's a real shame, but I don't design for operators because you don't want anything to be OP. So the first time I was actually playing and I heard that auto shotgun, I was really wondering what it was. I'm like, what is this? And I was busy building the map, and this wall just disappeared in front of me. I'm like, oh, okay. This is.
Oh, that is Maestro.
Yeah, this is real now.
Yeah, and speaking of that auto shotgun, let's take a look at his loadout really quick here.
Yeah.
After we're cut back from this gameplay, but his loadout is pretty interesting.
It is. He has a lot of utility and can be built different ways. He is a 3 armor, 1 speed, so he's pretty beefy.
So he's a thick boy.
He is. And
Another thick boy in Rainbow Six.
We've given him a lot of tools to play around with that. So, like you said, he's really about brute force when it comes to his loadout. He has an LMG, and because he is a 1 speed, you can put an ACOG on that if you want.
I can hear a reaction coming from the crowd here.
I can't wait to see it.
That's going to be really interesting, especially he is, the 1 speeds are getting a little bit of that speed boost, so they're not as handicapped as they were before.
Right.
With that ACOG, we may see a few spawn peaks or runouts.
It could be, but then again, you want to have your Maestro alive for as long as possible to anchor down. So
he doesn't have a really great passive.
Yeah.
Because while the cameras are useful, they can be useful, the true utility of it comes with the laser.
Exactly.
So if he runs out and dies, then you're kind of defeating the purpose of having Maestro on the team.
Right.
And as we see with Pick and Ban being introduced into the Pro League, that's going to be way more crucial in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On the flip side, his other primary is that full auto shotgun we've been seeing a lot, and it can delete walls and floors. It's pretty crazy, and that also works really well, giving him a lot of line of sights with his cameras.
line of sights with his cameras, just opening up walls, being able to create the environment that Maestro wants to live in.
He thrives in.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's the kind of guy that's just like, I don't like this wall.
Goodbye.
It's gone.
Yeah.
I can see that, yeah.
It's gone.
It's just gone. Sorry, Jeremy just cries a tear every time Maestro deletes a wall.
There's so much destruction in Italy, and as soon as he turns up, everything just goes away.
But it's good fun. And he also has that revolver shotgun, too.
So
to
he
play
can just
with.
create more halls.
Yep. Just 2 shotguns. Let's go.
Yeah,
It'll be
absolutely. So that's really awesome. I'm really excited to see Maestro in action. But who would you say are his counter picks?
Again, it is a gadget, so you'll see the same kind of counters as you will with Alibi. You have IQ who can spot them out. You'll have Twitch and Thatcher who can disable it temporarily, which is incredibly useful. But of course, you want to destroy it too, so you do have Sledge that can just run up and smash it.
Yeah, he can just smash it, which makes sense.
It does.
You know, it just logically, it's
Yeah.
just like he has a sledgehammer. This is a camera. It's gonna be gone. Yeah, I really love that. But also, we mentioned Echo, we mentioned Smoke, we mentioned the pick and bans.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though Maestro is a good alternative to those? Because if there is a pick and ban, you could potentially see a map without a Smoke or without an Echo, and that means that Maestro could be picked alongside that.
Exactly. He can either be a good alternative or actually, if those options aren't taken off the table with the ban system, he can synergize really well to create this super stall composition.
Yeah, and there's also one that we haven't touched on too, which is Dokkaebi.
Dokkaebi, yes. She can pop into the camera. She can't use the laser, but she can use his cameras.
She can use his cameras,
Yeah.
which is, man, that is really exciting.
It is.
That is really exciting. Great. So that is a look at Maestro and Alibi and Villa. That is really exciting.
Yeah.
But there is way more coming with Operation Parabellum. Because if you want customization items, we got customization items. We have 2 BDUs that are arriving with Operation Parabellum, one for Alibi and one for Maestro. These are head-to-toe customizations that do come with the year pass. So if you do own the year 3 season pass, you will get these right off the bat day 1. So if you want a fancy-looking Alibi or fancy-looking Maestro on day 1, you can have that. Additionally, drum roll, please. We have a new elite to show off that I don't think has been leaked yet.
Oh, don't think so.
That elite is the Thatcher elite.
That's right.
This elite skin comes equipped with a MVP victory animation winning screen. Comes equipped, obviously, with a weapon skin, a charm, and a Thatcher face reveal.
A good-looking face reveal.
Yeah,
A good-looking face
love
reveal.
that
He's a
face.
good-looking man.
he's a nice.
He's like a rugged, I'm gonna mess shit up guy. Yeah, that is a really cool look at Thatcher's elite skin. I can't wait for that. I'm like, this is awesome. You know, it's so often in Siege that our operators are behind a smoke mask or some other kind of mask, and we don't get to see their face.
Their lovely faces.
And Thatcher looks pretty cool. Great. So we do have a ton more coming with Operation Parabellum that will be arriving on May 22nd on the test servers. You do not want to miss out on some of this stuff that we're about to cover as well. Let's break down some of the new features that are coming in. Let's start off with the new secondary gadget, the bulletproof camera.
Yeah.
This camera is obviously comes equipped on 6 defensive operators and was in one of our test servers before. It kind of looks a little bit like Maestro's camera, but you can't move when you're in it. How else does it differ?
It can see through smoke like his camera can, but it can be destroyed in a number of different ways. It can be shot from the side, and it can be meleeed as well. So there's a couple of different options you can do to take it out.
A couple of different options. Obviously, it is a gadget, so those gadget destroying abilities do counter it as well. But a really interesting secondary gadget that's coming to 6 operators. So that will be really interesting to see, how that changes a few different things. Alongside of that, since we have a new secondary camera, we have a new primary camera with a unique gadget, we had to introduce a new observation tool as well. And Echo also is getting a second Echo drone with Operation Parabellum.
Yep. There are a lot of cameras now.
So many cameras. How did we resolve that issue?
So we updated the observation tool so that you can jump between a lot of different gadgets and the gadget families that they are belonging to. So this should make it really easy to jump between all of your team's different gadgets.
So this may on the surface look like a quality of life change because you can cycle through the gadgets, you can have an easier pathway of rotating through those, but it's really a fundamental introduction.
It was absolutely necessary to do the change to Echo and to bring Maestro to life.
Bring Maestro to life, bring Echo's buff to life
Exactly.
as well. Another change that you may notice in Operation Parabellum is the counter diffuser device is changing. So this is a new animation that we're introducing. Why are we doing this animation?
Mainly because it's a little bit silly that you're smacking a box to end it. So this is just something that kind of fits the world a lot better.
Yeah, this was on the test server, so it's going to be a really nice change coming in Operation Parabellum. Also coming in Operation Parabellum, we have the Discovery playlist. The Discovery playlist is a special customized playlist that allows you to play Villa and only Villa in casual. For 4 weeks at the start of the season, you will be able to play Villa and only Villa, so you don't have to play.
Did you hear that guy?
Yeah,
he screamed. He
He
liked
screamed
that.
really loudly there. That's really great to hear the enthusiasm for this new change. Jeremy, you got to be thrilled to just play your map.
I'm absolutely thrilled that people can not just go in and play it, and rather than play 10 rounds of house and get through, they can just go through, jump casual, and just go practice and learn the map. There's a lot to learn, so I'm stoked that we have this playlist now.
Yeah, it's
great.
really cool. I can't wait because I know that's been one of the biggest feedback. Whenever we do launch the season, they're like, oh, I got to play these maps and these maps and these maps just to play one round of the new map. And now you can just jump right into it. And that is going to be available for 4 weeks at the start of the season and will be available on the test server as well. So keep an eye out on for that. The final change, well, not the final change. We have a ton of more changes that we can't cover in this panel. And patch notes will be online on rainbow6.com on Tuesday, May 22nd. But one of the final changes that we're going to be discussing today is one that we announced at the 6 Invitational, which is the map buff for Clubhouse. I know people really love this. Jeremy, the significance of map buffs are huge. Map knowledge in Rainbow Six is huge. So
Yeah.
what is the reasoning behind these changes?
Basically, to bring it up to date, to make it more current, to make it more competitive. Wow, they really like this. To make it look better and to play better is why we do the map buffs. This map it was a great map already. It's just so much better now.
So much better, and it means that it's going to be interesting to see how the pros adapt, how every player adapts to that new change coming with Operation Parabellum, and it's becoming a key strategy moving forward as we're going to have more buffs in the future, including something that is way bigger than a buff, which is a rework of the map.
Yes, there's reworks and buffs. Buffs are, we go through, rearrange the furniture, like someone's come around and been drunk and moved your table, is pretty much what a map buff is. A rework is we actually go through and we completely rework the map from the ground up, and basically you see a new map.
New map. If you want more information on all of the things that we talked about right now in this panel, head to rainbow6.com and check out some of the dev blogs that we posted about all of these changes and more. Once again, that is a look at Operation Parabellum. Please give a big round of applause to Alex and Jeremy for running us through it. Operation Parabellum will be available on the test servers starting May 22nd. You do not want to miss out on that. Check it out on May 22nd, and you do not want to miss out on what is coming up just after this, the grand finals between Team Liquid and Penta Sports.
Yeah.
If I had something to say to the